Hello everybody, it's time for the final thoughts about the Avatar The Last Airbender Season 1. Oh boy, oh my god, this was really quite a journey, I'd say. 20 episodes in. It's been a pretty nice ride, I'd say, overall. So, I don't know, I'm probably not gonna do any ranking by numbers because those honestly don't tell you anything, and this might not be visually all that interesting since this will be just a vlog. I will be just rambling on here. I will be doing a more edited analysis video of this season later on, but for now I just wanted to give you my opinion. So the season 1 was, how should I say, it was really good. I have no problems with the season 1, at least. It was I have very few problems with it. Like my biggest problem with it is with the season so far, or the first season, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying even here. Is that the animation quality is a bit poor, but that's a stylistic choice, so I don't care in the end. It's whatever. It's not eye candy, but it's pretty good overall. I mean, the animation is kinda jagged and slowish at times, but it's fine, I think. There's no real technical problems that I spotted with it. And more on the graphical side, the actual visual design of the show so far has been very, very good. Like, they have very well differentiated like all the different tribes from each other. Like, there's just no mistaking Water Tribe for Fire Tribe. They are very, or Fire Nation, if they are so called, whatever. They are very different, and they are very well designed so that you can see their differences very easily. Again, you can just recognize them basically just from the outlines of their costume, which is pretty cool. I really do like that. Oh my god, this will be a long video. Okay, whatever. So, I don't know. There's not much else I will go into detail here about the graphical design itself. Like, every character, in my opinion, is very, very well designed. Like, there are really no lazy designs there. Like, the fact that the Fire Nation soldiers wear face masks, that's kinda lazy. But it's an interesting stylistic choice, and I do quite like it actually, because it gives a sort of menacing look to the Fire Nation soldiers, which is very, very good in my opinion. I really like that. Even though it takes away their personality, but at the same time that makes it more threatening, and thereby very cool. Kinda. Not cool is definitely not the word I'm looking for here, but it's very good in my opinion. Like, that's a very nice design, and it's used in wars rather. It's used in real life actually very much, the dehumanization of both your enemies and your own soldiers, so that, yeah, whatever. You know, it's just cool. It's a very neato thing that I do quite like. Every character looks different, and they are very distinct, and there are really no lazy design. Some people are a lot more simpler design-wise than others, but that's not really a problem considering that majority of them are just background characters. So you can't really make them all that elaborate, I'd say. And they did a fine job making them seem at least human, so that's neat. The Aang himself maybe has a bit too large of a head, but after all, he's 12 years old, so it's kind of understandable, so whatever. Okay, I have nothing else to say on the visual department. Like, oh, I do actually. The bending, it's freaking awesome. Actually, the bending is definitely about from the animation, since I don't actually count CGI as animation because, you know, frankly speaking, it's not animation it's not drawn animation, so I mean, and there were only like tanks were only CG, so. But yeah, the bending is definitely my most favorite animated thing about the series so far. So that's cool. The bending really has it has the correct kind of spark in the animations. Like, you can definitely feel and see the differences between all the different elements, and that's really important, and it looks really cool. And there are even some differences between like bending fire and using fire as a weapon. Like, that's also really cool. Yeah. Then the CGI tanks, they were cool, and they were definitely really interesting to look at, and they showed a lot more, like, the budget became a lot bigger at that point, and it was really interesting to see them, and I did really gasp in awe of them, but I've kind of gone back on my thoughts about that, because it really gives a jarring sensation that they suddenly used some CG there, and that's, I don't know, that just rubs me off the wrong way. But that's just my opinion. Whatever. Yeah. Do I have anything else? Animation was, yeah, that's all I have about the animation and visual design. Let's talk about. I was supposed to, yeah, audio design. Well, the audio design of the show is, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Well, that's a bad way to start it off, but the audio design itself is really good of the show. Like, the background music never disturbs the story, and it only reinforces the mood of the scenes. But I really do not like. I have listened to some of the soundtrack to I've listened to some of the songs on their own, and I must say they are not that interesting. Philosophically or musically speaking, they are really rather bland. But they are background songs. They are not supposed to be that interesting on their own. So they do a good job of reinforcing the story. I think that's their purpose, and they do that. They do that. They do that rather well. Sound effects of the show are pretty. I have no complaints there. They really fit the. They fit the moments pretty well, and the bending sounds cool, clear, and understandable, and realistic even, kind of. Well, yeah, it's pretty realistic. Maybe over-exaggerated a little, but that's not really that much of a problem, I'd say. And the overall other sound effects that the show has, they are pretty well. They are pretty nice. I don't have any problems with any of the sound. But I do have to give mad props to some of the voice actors. For one, like, well, there are quite a few characters that I do very much enjoy. Like, for one, I do enjoy Zuko's voice actor. Oh my god, he's so perfect for the role. I can't imagine anyone else in his role. Iroh is very good fit. Like, Iroh's voice actor is also very good for the role. We heard the Fire Lord speak on a bit, and he was really good. If I remember correctly, he was the actor who played Luke, but I can't remember his name. Whatever, he's a good voice actor. Unfortunately, though, I don't really have that many other notable like things to say about the voice acting. It's just good, but it's nothing mind-blowingly awesome. Like, I was kind of left disappointed with it. I wanted something more, but it's not bad. It's good. The voice acting is good. Okay, and then let's talk about the real big thing, which is the yeah. I could talk about a lot of other things, but yeah, you know, I want to keep this like humanely lengthy. So let's talk about the story itself because I think that's the most important part of this thing. And okay, there's quite a few things about this to say. Let's get the easiest ones out of the way. So first off, uh, the show has an episodic format. At least it had for the majority of the season, and that did not do it. Well, it fit the show well, and it's understandable why they had it. But I would have, I have already said that I personally would have enjoyed longer story arcs, but that's neither here nor there. That's just personal preference. But I don't know. It sometimes feels like the show has a very, I don't want to say rushed, but that's what it feels like to me. The show feels rather rushed. It goes forward really fast, and it doesn't dwell on some topics as long as I'd want it to. I don't know if that's such a bad thing considering the show's nature and who the target audience, but I would have liked it to cover some topics in more detail. But what we got was fine. But I don't know. I just didn't really like the episodic format that much. I would have liked a longer story arcs, but we gotta make do. It's not bad by any means. Like I said. Well, then the whole thing about the story, like exactly the plotline. The basic premise of the show is pretty cool, actually. Like, it's rather simple, but there's nothing bad with a simple story. There's Aang's reincarnation of an avatar who respawns whenever he dies and or reincarnates rather, and carries on a legacy of talent in bending and ability to master all four bending, and is destined to do great things and blah 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 blah, and he's supposed to master all the four elements and bring peace or some stuff like that. It's so basic, but it's really basic. Like, damn, that's basic. That goes like really back a long way in the history. Like, that resembles a lot of the stories that had been told in ancient Greece, and that's really saying something. Well, no, it's not. But I don't have any problems with that. The fact that it's simple and easy to follow is by no means a bad thing. If the story is executed well, which in this case it is very well, why does it matter how complex the story is, or how complicated the characters are, or how complicated the issues they handle are? I don't have any problems with that. I would have preferred more complex storylines, but you know what we got. This will be the most said word. What we got, or the sentence, whatever. What we got was not bad. I'm very happy what we got because the story is very well self-contained, and it really wraps up really neatly at the end. Like, or wraps up. Like, this season ended really damn well. Like, I'm really happy with how the season ended. You don't even know how happy I was with it. Like, some other shows have a really bad ending for a season, or a really bad ending for the whole show, and that just kills me. The ending is paramount. It is very important for a show to have a very good ending. There are a few exceptions to this rule, but this is like 99% of the time true. And Avatar did it really well, like really damn well. If we only got the first season, I would have been happy with it. Like, or not happy, but I would have been satisfied with it, because the story is very self-contained. And even though it does leave a lot of questions and a lot of potential for the future, it also ends the whole story arc that we've been going through the whole first season, and that's really damn well done. And I'm really happy that they did it like that, because it gives the series a sort of like sense of progression, and that's really cool. Yeah, that's yeah. And even though like the episodic format also brings with it very very simple storylines, I personally do not have any problems with that. It's after all, the target audience is children, and they have to handle a lot simpler storylines, and they are executed well, so there's no problems there. And there are even some more interesting topics, like I can't remember the guy's name, but the rebel warrior who fought against the Fire Nation and used very brutal methods. Who the frick was his name? Oh well, whatever, the cool kid. Jet? That might have been it. Whatever. So yeah. Even though the show's storylines have been very simple so far, they are good. Then let's talk about the whole bending. I have kinda talked about this and touched on the subject earlier, but I will now re-emphasize this point. I love the using or channeling powers of the nature, and how well I just freaking love, like, shamans are really interesting in my personal opinion. I very much enjoy the whole shamanic feel that the show has, and the whole bending, just it's really interesting in just about every way. Like, it definitely has had a very interesting impact on the culture of the world. Like, cities are shaped by it. Like, it's an integral part to the world, and it gives every nation a different feel. Every city you come is influenced by the majority of the benders, or the lack of thereof, which is really cool. I really do like that part of the show. And the whole thing about bending being like very essential to a lot of the people's, or a lot of the character development itself, and the character's own personality and motivations, attitude, everything about them, is really cool. Like, this ties into the last topic before characters in themselves, which is the show's one of the biggest strengths, which is characterization, which is very darn well done. Like, I don't wanna start swearing here, but like, the show's characters are very well done. They are easily recognizable, and they are based off some stereotypes, but they are by no means simple characters. They may be easy to understand, because they are done so damn well, and that makes them a lot more relatable and understandable, while at the same time making them feel more than there actually is. And it's really well done. And every bender, like, we really see the differences from not only attitudes, perspectives, fighting styles, and movement from different benders. Like, you really can't compare Zuko's movement to Aang's. They are very different. They fight in a different way. They walk that, well, maybe not walk, but like, what I want to emphasize is they fight so differently, and their styles change. Their styles are so different from each other, and that is amazing. Firebenders and waterbenders especially, they create such an interesting like comparison and not perspective. I'm totally blanking on the word here. They really are. They very well complement each other, like how their own bending movements, and that's so different. It's really hard to put into words. But the point is, the bending reinforces the characters, and every bender is defined by what they bend and how they bend, and that's really interesting to see. Like, Zhao and Zuko, even though they are both firebenders, they are very different. Like, their fighting styles are so, well, not that much different, but they have so much little flavor in them. Like, they really do things differently, even though they do technically the same thing. And that's really cool to see. And we can see across the spectrum of firebenders that there are so many different types of firebenders, and that's really, we can see like common themes in every firebender so far. Like, we can see how the firebending affects their psyche, and that really is very interesting to see, in my opinion. Wow, I went off topic. Whatever. That's the video. This is that type of video. Okay. Before wrapping up, I want to go over like a lot of the characters. Like, well, let's go over. First, let's go over Aang, because, well, he's the main protagonist, I guess. He's kind of important, I'd say. So yeah. Oh boy. I want to say I have a little love-hate relationship with Aang, mostly because he is both such a perfect little kid. Like, he really seems like a perfect candidate for the Avatar. But at the same time, he seems too perfect, but the aspects of him that are perfect, like, sorry, I blanked there for a second, like, okay, so, in my opinion, Aang is maybe a bit too perfect, but it's understandable why he is perfect in many of the aspects, because he is the he is the Avatar. He's supposed to have some of the qualities that he has, and it's understandable why the fact that he's the Avatar reinforces those attributes of him and make them very, well, overwhelmingly positive. Like, for one, he's very talented at bending, but I don't think that's such a bad thing. That's basically his whole thing. He's a very talented bender. So that's kind of cool. And he has connection to the spirit realm. And he handles it really well. And he really hasn't had all that much problems with bending or holding his temper or such things. Like, he has been very perfect. But it's good that we have seen that he has flaws after all. He is still a young kid. Like, mentally he's only 12 years old. And we see that. He does some really stupid stuff. He is very childish and naive and all that. But he's only 12 years old. He ain't perfect. And that's good. That's really damn good. And he also underestimates his own ability, which we see in the episode where he learns a bit of firebending, which is really cool. I really did like that episode more than I let on in the actual commentary itself. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think Aang really is a very, very good main character. There is not much I'd like to change about him, because even though he seems a bit too perfect, that's it's understandable why he would be, and he's at the same time very, like, his issues are very relatable and understandable, and he seems human, but at the same time something more than human, which he is, and that's really cool. That's he's a really good protagonist, like, in my opinion. Yeah, let's go with that. I could ramble on about that more, but keep it simple, I guess. Katara, I don't have much to say about her. She's a basic protective sister type of character and semi-love interest. I kinda wish they would handle the romance bit of the story a bit better, but at least in that one episode when we had that little girl who had a crush on Aang, she handled it really maturely, and that was really cool. I really did like how they handled it there. But the whole main love interest thing, oh, that's so poorly handled. I'd like them to handle it better. And the naive romance at the last few episodes was a bit too bittersweet for me. But that's just a bit. It's not a problem per se, and it's kind of nice to see that some series still have that cliche, and it's a cliche for a reason, and it's by no means bad. But yeah, Kitara, I don't know. She's a fine character by every regards, but he isn't quite that interesting. I'd hate to say, but yeah, she isn't quite that interesting. She's not bad, but she's not that interesting. Sokka, on the other hand, he kind of grew on me like during the season, because at first we see him like he is very arrogant, not in a bad way. Well, yeah, he is in a bad way, and very pompous, and then just a pretty kind of jerk all around, but like, or not jerk, but more egotistical and that such. But again, that's not a problem, and we see there are very good reasons why he is the way he is. And actually, when we see more of his own character development, and how we get more about his backstory, he seems a lot more interesting. And there are some very interesting comparisons to be made there to some ancient heroes and such, which I can't really name from the top of my head, but yeah, I do quite like Sokka. He is a very interesting character. Unlike Kitara, unfortunately. I don't know, I just didn't really like Kitara. But yeah, Sokka is actually very cool, and I do quite like him more than Aang, just because he's kind of the bumbling buffoon. But on the other hand, he's a very good soldier after all. He's not bad by any means, and he's actually kind of a smart guy. Like, he really figured out a lot of the strategy, and he's by no means is he just stupid. And that's very good. He's not just a comic relief character, and that's very good. Oppa? Yeah, I like Oppa. Moving on. Well, let's go into the antagonists. So Jet was just a side character, or the antagonist for one episode, but I have a feeling he's gonna come back, and I really did like him because his morality was really interesting way to look at the world, and I'd like the series or the show to handle that a bit more, because it was interesting and it was done well. I really did like that. Yeah, not much else to say. I want to see more of him. He was cool. He was interesting. Then let's talk about Iroh, because I really freaking love Iroh. He's really cool. He's really nice. I really do like him, like in every aspect. He may be a bit, well, okay. Iroh is like a very good example of the perfect character, like more so than even Aang, because he's wise and strong and clever. On the other hand, he also makes mistakes, and he is more of a comic relief than Sokka even is. Kind of. Well, not really, but you know, he's kind of a comic relief character. But he does it well, and it feels natural for him to be so... How should I say it? Funny? Let's go with that. That seems positive. Yeah, let's go with that. But he is at the same time, he has a lot of background and character. He's just all around very interesting and cool character, and I want to see more about him. So yeah, I do freaking love Iroh, but there's not much else to say about him. Zhao. Well, there's a character. The main antagonist for the first season, you could say. Or maybe Zuko is. I'd probably say Zuko, but whatever. So Zhao is the big bad in this season. And yep, he is rather menacing, and it's very easy to see that he's consumed by the madness of firebending, and that's really cool. You can see him being evil. Damn, he's cool. And he's not really doing it just to be evil. His motivations are rather understandable, but he is a ruthless leader. And that's cool. I really do like how he's presented. And he had a lot of background, and I wish we would have seen more of him. I bet he's going to come back though, so probably. We're gonna see. He was interesting. Kind of. Maybe he could have been better. Whatever, he was still pretty good. Lastly, I'm gonna talk about Zuko, my favorite character. Oh my god, I love this son of a gun. Oh no. They rewind that. I friggin' love Zuko. He's such a good character. I mean, oh my god, he's good. He has a very interesting character motivation, and he's not crazy. By no means is he crazy, and by no means is he evil. Even though he's the antagonist, he's very much a good guy, so to say, even though he's the antagonist. He's very relatable, and he's very nice and sweet and all that sort of stuff, and I really do like him. Like in, I don't know, I don't want to really go into all that much detail. Actually, this video was made so that I could go into detail. So yeah, Zuko is freaking amazing, like everywhere. I really like him. Like his motivation is very interesting, and it ties very well into his background and his personality and such, and it's so cool. And he fights really cool. I wanted to see him kick more ass, which he admittedly did in the last episodes. Okay, that's not a complaint. He kicked ass. He kicked Zhao's ass. And he was still trying to save Zhao. Oh my god, I didn't even comment on that. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. He's a very much my favorite character. Like, he is so awesome. And he is very cool. And he has got a lot of character development during this season. And it was so damn good. I don't know, I'm getting really tired here. I'm really exerting myself here quite a bit. Okay, whatever. I freaking love Zhao. No, I don't really like Zhao that much, but Zuko is definitely one of my favorite antagonists ever. Probably in the top 3. Yeah, probably in the top 3 of any antagonists ever. So yeah, do I have anything else to say about them? Well, no. I could go on a lot more specific details about every little episode, but nah, I'll save that for some other time. For now, I'll just say, like, the show is really damn good. I'm not gonna give a numerical rating here, but it's really... I might give at the whole edited video thing, I might give a numerical rating. But here I just want to say it's really damn good. Really damn good. One of the best shows I've ever seen. Maybe even the best. I don't know. I really don't want to rank shows because most of the shows do different things and they accomplish different goals. So you can't really compare them. From personal enjoyment, I'd say this is, yeah, in the top part, but definitely not the best series I've ever seen, because the show has a lot of fighting, and that's not so interesting in my opinion. But it does it so well that it's very entertaining, and the show itself is so damn enjoyable to watch. And in the end of the episode 19, you saw me, like, I broke down when the freaking end screen came. I was, oh my god, the show is so enjoyable to watch. And you want to see more. It passes by so damn quickly. Oh my god, it's so good. It has problems, of course. It's a flawed gem after all. But what show doesn't have problems? And the problems are not so big that they distract from the whole thing. I really freaking like just about every aspect of the show. I want to see... Oh my god, I want to see so much more. Oh, there are so many things I want to know about. The whole... Everything about the show has just been really great. Yeah. I really do like the show. It's definitely... From mechanical aspects, it's probably in the top 3 of the best shows I know of. And from personal enjoyment, it's at least in top 10, very likely in the top 5. Maybe even in the top 3. Because the show has a lot of character. It has a lot of character in the show. It has a lot of character in the show. That doesn't make sense. Whatever. Okay. That's my season review. I'm kind of happy that I got to do this. I'm gonna have to rewrite the script a bit to make it sound so that I don't repeat myself that much during it. I will repeat myself during it, because I made a lot of points here that I referred, that I will use in the freaking edited video, but for now, I'm just kind of complacent with this, but yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna end it here, like, as per usual, I'm going to, like, thank you all for watching very much. I really do enjoy doing this, and it's very, I said this, so I have said this so many times, and I'm going to keep saying this. It's very important for me that people really do enjoy my commentaries. Not only because not only do I enjoy making them, it entertains other people, and that's very crucial for me. That's very important, and it really fills my heart with joy to see people comment and like and watch my videos. And even if you don't comment on my videos, I still appreciate every view that I get, like, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for watching. I've been doing these commentaries only for like a few months on now, but it's been a great time. The ride's been great, but the ride ain't over yet, so stay tuned for the future. I thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Gunmoo out.